This is the story of how Harike, one of the largest wetlands in India, was saved. And saved by no less than the Indian Army working on a war footing. While other environmental projects such as Save the Tiger kept touching a deep emotional chord in us, Harike, a seemingly less glamorous piece of God's paradise on earth, apart from being the largest wetland after Kashmir, on the route of migratory birds winging their way in from the north, was going to seed. Over the years, Harike has faced all sorts of problems, ranging from pesticide contamination, to siltation, which is slowly choking the wetland, to poaching, to illegal fishing. But these problems are all dwarfed when compared to the spread of the world's most obnoxious aquatic weed, water hyacinth. By February 2000, this killer weed had covered 70% of Harike Lake, reducing the open water area to such an extent that the number of birds there dropped from lakhs of just a few years ago to only a few thousand. The bonding between the Indian Army and the people of Punjab is historical, and the destinies of the two have been interlinked. The Vajra Corps started Operation Sahyog 2 years ago in an attempt to reach out to the people of Punjab. And as an extension of Operation Sahyog, Project Sahyog for the restoration of the Harike wetlands was launched to further cement this bond. This environmental initiative has been the Western Army's labor of love and the Vajra Corps' tribute to the people of Punjab.
Water hyacinth, an exotic species, was brought to India in 1884 by a traveller from South America for his garden. A beautiful ornamental plant with purple flowers and lush green leaves which multiplies rapidly to choke the entire water body. The plant also creates obstacles for birds that feed in these waters, and by sucking oxygen, it affects the fish population adversely. Large masses of hyacinth clog the water and restrict access to mounds and islands in the wetland. Certain problems were evident. Out of the total area of 10 square kilometers, hyacinth was covering 6.8 square kilometers, leaving only 3.2 square kilometers of open water. The removal of hyacinth had not only to be done along the bunds, but also at distances of 800 to 1,000 meters deep into the waterland. Thus, manual removal was an impossible task. The use of a biological process would be time-consuming, and the chemical method could affect the ecological balance of the wetland. Thus, a totally new alternative had to be found, a mechanized, motorized method of hyacinth removal. The task of innovation was given to the engineers of the Golden Arrow Division. Tools were specially designed and produced at the workshop to carry out this operation. These varied from a variety of booms to stop the flow of hyacinth, to trapping tools like rakers and evacuating motorized vehicles like the JCBs. Through a process of experimentation, a series of efficient methods were evolved so as to pull the hyacinth to the banks, remove it, and send it to the dumping ground. Observation of the hyacinth during the monsoons reveals that it is a free-flowing plant with a tendency to move from one place to another due to wind or water movement. Large masses of it could be isolated by a process of booming. Gradually, through trial, the method of dynamic booming was evolved. In this method, barrel booms were used to pull mats as large as 250 by 250 meters from a distance of 1 kilometer from the shore. Dynamic booming was done in 2 stages. A rope boom was encircled around the mat and passed through pulleys to be connected to motorized winches. The vehicles pull the rope at a right angle so as to make the rope pass under the selected hyacinth mat, cutting the roots. After this scissoring action, the barrel booms were used to encircle the mat and winch it towards the shore. Thus, by using booms, rakers and winches, the hyacinth was drawn to the shore. Here, innovative, motorized mechanisms were used to load it on vehicles for transportation to the dumping site. The heavy-duty JCB vehicle was very effective in this process. The JCB bucket was modified to a safe-type bucket which lifted the hyacinth, draining the water, and loaded it into the truck. Conveyor belts were another mechanism which was used effectively. The hyacinth was pushed by boats or manually towards the conveyor belt, which carried the hyacinth and offloaded it into vehicles standing at the top edge. The army personnel also developed other tools to facilitate their working. Heavy-duty recovery vehicle MAN was used with a hyacinth lifter to remove large quantities of hyacinth. Weed cutters fitted in front of boats were used to cut dense mats of water hyacinth. In order to enhance the awareness and develop support among the local people for Harike, a forestation and social fencing program planted on islands so as to facilitate roosting and nesting of birds. Like the project, but also generate interest among people about Harike. It was aimed at creating public opinion, which could motivate local people to protect the wetland. A significant improvement in the water quality has been noticed by regular pollution monitoring of the water. A bird count by the 19 Garhwal Regiment indicated that more than 1 lakh birds can be seen at Harike, a substantial increase from the previous years. Today, the Army has cleared more than 7 square kilometers of the water surface. The arrival of the migratory birds has given a clear indication of the success of the project. If the Punjab government can sustain the cleaning efforts, the number of birds will increase substantially in the future.
Now we have a very tough task on our hands because the Army has set very high standards. And the state government is determined that the innovations, the initiatives taken by the Army must continue through our own departments. Now the target is to build up a form of eco-tourism.
The restoration of Harike wetland has been Vajra Kaur's labour of love for the people of Punjab. The wetland today resounds with the sound of birds, from a variety of ducks like teals, shovelers and poachards, to indigenous species like coots, darters and Indi moorhen. Continued sustenance and dedication to the saving of Harike will be the key to the future. It is this which will ensure another vibrant winter at Harike.
The conservation and maintenance of ecology and the environment continues to remain one of my foremost KRAs, and the evolution, the conceptualization, execution of ecological projects in the command is being done by commanders down the chain. We want to ensure a greener and a happier environment for our generations to come.
This near miracle by the army has given Harike a new lease of life. But what about the future of this avian paradise?